Success as a sort of abstract concept can often be limited in its lifetime. Oftentimes people will achieve success and then very quickly lose it. I guess it's sort of a fleeting entity in nature. And so although my talk here today, at least on the sheet, is titled How to Succeed, what I'd like to discuss is a bit more specific. Instead, today, I think I'd like to talk about how to achieve lasting success. The key really comes down to one word, and that's failure. And I mean outright failure. Now, that might sound a little bit counterintuitive, to fail in order to succeed, but I've really never encountered a motivator nearly as potent or long-lasting as failure. And when I say failure, I don't mean minor failures, failing a quiz or failing to pick up your little brother from a basketball game. I mean outright, blatant, and public failure. In my case, that's happened really only twice. The most recent example would be me playing trumpet. I play in the advanced jazz band here at school, and in my sophomore year, I had a trumpet solo on the song My Funny Valentine. It's a jazz standard. And we took that song to the Berkeley Jazz Festival in Boston. And I absolutely butchered the solo. It was terrible throughout. And I mean, it was bad throughout the entire thing, but the last note, for most songs that I end up playing, I have to play a sort of high note, which is difficult on a trumpet. And I missed it on this song. That is step one, to attempt and fail spectacularly, publicly, and epically, if you will. In my case, it was missing the final note on this particular song, and not just letting myself down, but letting down the entire advanced jazz band, and really letting down the show. Step two, which is equally as important as failing in such a dramatic manner, is to sulk, review, and improve upon what you did. For this festival, we go to the Prudential Center and Hyde's Convention Center to play, and the rest of the day we sort of get to hang around and listen to some incredible musicians from the Berklee School of Music. And so through the rest of the day that we were there, we played very early in the morning, and by the end of the day, I felt terrible right after playing because it was terrible. But by the end of the day, it had gotten much worse after listening to some spectacular musicians. Once I'd gotten home and I had a few days to sort of realize exactly what I'd done, what I tried to do was look at what I did wrong. And that's very important. When people fail, very often they don't take a good look at exactly what they did wrong. Very oftentimes, they sort of skip past that and go ahead to my step three, which is to try again. And they end up failing again, and they don't understand why. It's very important to go back and figure out what you did wrong. And in my case, it just wasn't practicing enough. I didn't practice the solo nearly as much as I should have, and the result of that was destroying it in front of my peers, family members, my family members, and a number of professors from the school that were there as judges. And sort of the last part of this second step is to improve. And in my case, that just meant more practice. Step three for all of this, and the final step, is to attempt again and hopefully succeed. In my case, we went back the next year. We go every year to the Berkeley Jazz Festival, and for whatever reason, Mr. O'Toole thought that it was appropriate for me to play another solo, this time on the theme from the Summer of '42 movie from the '70s. And with the amount of practice that I put in this time, I didn't butcher it. Actually, we did okay. And that is because I followed 3 steps that I had here. And if necessary, and you do end up failing again after going through these 3 steps, it's important to go ahead and try at least one more time. So, thank you.